see, are these working? Alright, cool. If you're watching this in the future, as a VOD, I'm still running my Unearth Snapshotting Hexblast build. Recently I got Unearthed to do 32,000 damage with a skill tree that looked like this, missing all of this damage up here, the damage over here, and most of it coming from these nodes, which are only active during my weapon set 2. Since Unearth Snapshots, swapping weapons keeps the stats from when Unearth was summoned. Now this is a little bit staged. I don't quite get this high. But I will get to probably 28,000 when I get another rank on my scepter. Right now scepters are just stupid expensive. Alright, so I'm here at this crypt, and I am about to do a breach. Alright, so first things first, so this dungeon's mostly clear. I need to get some bodies. And there's only a couple left. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap weapons. Did no damage because I don't have points in. Swap weapons to make more minions spawn that I can then use to consume and make a bunch of Unearthed minions. And I'm doing this so I can get a huge, absolutely crazy 132% modifier from this scepter. Is this breach just going to be empty? Hello? The most boring breach ever? Okay. Okay, I just got trolled. That was horrible. Alright, we're coming up on this boss. This is the boss room. I want to try to get as many minions up as I can for this boss. So, I'm not going to get all the minions I want right now. I kind of scuffed my build recently and I can't get all 30 of my minions up for Unearth. But this will have to do at 23.
What a delightfully sacrilegious creature.
And what I want to test is how much damage does just my Unearthed minions do. Pretty good. They're not staying up right now, though. I definitely need to fix that. I'm gonna wait until this boss comes back up. Now. Oh my god. So this one does crazy amounts of AoE. And it does look like I'm going to have to build into more minion resists, unfortunately. Just for bosses. But they are making its health go down. They're just not living long enough.
I simply must have my own one of those someday.
I was hoping the higher ranks would make them tankier, but it's not quite.
Go on.
Damage was pretty good. I need to get rid of some of these, like 12s. Oop. Take all these 12s. Bunch them up. Any 11s? Oh. How many 13s do I have? Quite a few. Take all these 13s. Punch them up. No more 13s, right? I might have some in here randomly. Yep, I do. 70 12s. Yep. 11s? This 11. Okay. Had one more 11 in here. Grab these. Crap. Gotta search inventory. That's it for 12s. So all these 13s. Slam them. No, it's corrupted. Alright, now for 14s, we're going to actually take Regal Orbs. Alright, so we're going to take Regal Orbs. And we're going to hit all these 14s. First, we've got to make them all at least blue.
Hello. Yes.
And then we've got to hit them all with Regal Orbs. Okay, maybe I should have actually looked before I crafted. Alright, so now I've got these 14s that are with Regal Orbs. Watch what happens when I upgrade them. I get a 15. Yeah, I think it could be pretty good. Ariel, did you know this? If you use Regal Orbs on 14s and then reforge them, you get an unidentified 15 that's already yellow and can have, like, more than an alchemy worth of mods. Do I have any more 14s randomly? I do. But all of these 14s. That is a ton of 14s. So if I make all of these 14s magic. And then I Regal Orb them. all my 14s. One more. I do. No, I have a lot of 14s. Just 12 away. Corrupted 14 away. This corrupted 14 away. Make a video. Are these corrupted? There's a neat little trick to getting tier 15 waystones that are already rare every time using Reforging. If you use Regal Orbs to make all of your 14 maps rare before you transmute them, you get a rare tier 15. And I've done this a few times. Oh, that's not rare. It's a 14. And let's see how good these maps we get out of them are.
What is it?
So 280, 170, 310. So a lot of these have more than an alchemy orb worth of modifiers. And yet, we only had to use a regal and basically something frivolous. So what you have to do, go to your currency tab. You got to make them from a normal 14 to a magic. And once they're magic, you don't need to add a second stat. You can just hit them with a regal orb. And then you can get juicy 15s for cheaper than using alchemy orbs and exalted orbs. Cool, that's all. Quick video. I don't know if that video's pretty shit the way I put that together. There's a neat little trick to getting tier 15 waystones that are already rare every time using Reforging. If you use Regal Orbs to make all of your 14 maps rare before you transmute them, you get a rare tier 15. And I've done this a few times. Oh, that's not rare. It's a 14. And let's see how good these maps we get out of them are.
What is it?
So 280, 170, 310. So a lot of these have more than an alchemy orb worth of modifiers. And yet, we only had to use a regal and basically something frivolous. So what you have to do, go to your currency tab. You got to make them from a normal 14 to a magic. Guess it's a pretty good one.
Hello. I help?
I need to get more breach waystones. I've just really started to figure out like what to do with breaches. And trying to figure out what to do that. Alright, sorry, Thariel, if you're still there. Yeah, because totems get your stats, right? So it should get the Dark Defiler stats. And effigy is the chaos thing, right? This thing. Grab a big gem real quick. It's Dark Effigy. So does projectile count work on Dark Effigy? Does it just effectively triple its damage? Does it work single target? Yeah. And poison itself is a debuff, right? So multiple poisons also count? Is that correct? So if you're poisoned a target like 5 times, it'll fire 5 times? Because multiple debuffs and poison debuffs. Yeah, so if you get like through. And you can get like +5 poison stacks, right? Yeah, 7 total if you've got ED and Contagion as well. Well, you can have multiple totems from this thing way up here, right? What does Pathfinder get that makes poisons good? Like just +1 poison count or something like that? Oh, you're right. You can't use Ancestral Bond. Wait, can you just get +1 limit on Totem? Is that like a thing you can do? Yeah, do you just get +1 limit, and then you have 2 totems, and that's what you can do? I know there's a support gem that's +1 limit. You can also get one on a jewel, like a unique jewel, and you could have 3, and that would be crazy. I didn't have enough cast speed when I used Dark Effigy, and I felt like the cast time was just complete ass. So there's nothing totem over here. But there was a bunch of totem stuff here. When I was over in the armor section, there was all these art totem stuff I was passing. It's kind of, if you're coming up over here, it might be not the best. One of the things I learned from that first build, the budget build I put together, is I had almost no, I think I had like 3 jewel sockets, because the opportunity cost of rotating through the board in these first 2 lanes, basically this lane and this lane, they're kind of one lane. The first lane, there's no jewel sockets. Isn't Black Flame only on Ignite? Also, I might need to make more coffee. Fuck. Alright, Thariel, enjoy. I just realized it's New Year's Eve. That's hilarious. Oh! You're right. So Black Flame would be +1. I don't know if it'd be worth for +1 projectile when you already have 7, but it should. Alright, let's get back to some things. I gotta think about how I want to get when I had these points here and this point, my minions were just not dying to boss damage. I think they only have like 50% fire resist, and I think that boss was all fire. And coming over here and making my minions tankier would directly take away from my damage. I might be able to get away with something like dropping these points. But this is like my only cast speed, so I really want to keep it. Area I can't get rid of. I can't really get rid of this tank. This just makes sense to being the best tank nodes I can get. So this was not saving them though, so I could take it from here. I could lose some spell damage. I'm gonna try not having the reduced cost for a bit. And not having this cast speed. Pretty bad. Get some extra fire resist. Not having this point here has made me sad. I mean, I could come through here. Could take out these points here. And come back through this, but nah, I can't quite make it with that many points. And I still don't even have that, so it's not worth too much travel. If I had a helm with a bunch of energy shield, maybe, but let's just come over here, grab that. This fire resist, and now my minions will have, this is 16, 38 fire resist, 58 fire resist. This is 78. This puts them at 78. Each one of these is just a full. So I'll leave them a little bit short on cold resist, but they should just have full resists now. And just not die, like ever. I was hoping to get some jewels that had more minion tank stuff, but I don't think it's going to happen. I'm gonna run this for now. Hopefully I don't just
Time
die.
to consume.
Look how expensive my Unearth is. 491 health per cast. It's so fucking dumb, dude. This mana cost is awful. You want to check one thing? I need to put Falling Strike back on my warriors if it's not already there. Don't think they're going to need Elemental Army because they're already capped now. Go to this fortress. Seems like a good plan. Let's drop this big map. Let's grab a 15, one of these juicy ones. This is not a 15, get out of here. Okay, they do extra cold damage. Try not to die to that. Drop a Valorb on this. Nothing really changed. It got rid... No, didn't get rid of anything. And now... go try this map. What? Am I short an int? I'm short of dex. Hold on. Fuck. I just respect one thing. I don't like that even though this isn't active during set 2,
Another strategy.
it still counts against this limit. So this isn't even active. And it's still counting against the dex limit.
Speak.
I need to drop one more thing for dex. Like put Unearth back on my bar.
Feast on flesh.
Speak.
Oh, I did it int when I needed to do a strength. Oh, strength.
How can I perfect
Alright, now I gotta
myself?
fix my, that's gonna brick all of my shit. Sacrifice is on, Grim Feast is on, that's correct. Up back over here. That's low, whatever. Make sure my Unearth is set to 2. Alright, we're good. Sorry about that, folks. Probably put like the basic music on or something.
I need more mana.
Alright, I got my initial minions up and running. Looks like I corrupted and went down 1 level. That's so sad. That did connect up there. Problematic.
I need more mana. Death is my power to wield. Now!
I'm looking forward to when they just like make Sanguimancy not a detriment. So I can, you know, cast the spell and stay overflowed on life.
How useful.
That's that connection point.
Now! Out of mana.
Okay, it's just, you know, one-tap enemies. That's the plan, right, guys? Just press one button.
How useful.
I think this is the best way to scale Detonate Dead. Nice, I just got a coffee delivery. Hold on a second. Alright, so I got coffee, I'm gonna get fajitas, and we got sparkling cider, because New Year's.
Death, take you.
But there's another mob? Where? Okay.
Image.
I'll let my minions deal with it. Okay, they just full killed that yellow mob. Good job, minions. I think I'm at a point where I don't need to vendor everything. But I'm like traumatized from all the respec costs I've had to do. I need to get better at just leaving things on the floor now again.
Indeed.
What's Snapshot, Blue Moon Fuzz? So snapshotting is a term in video game where you do an action while you have a temporary buff, and then after that buff runs out, you still benefit from it. So in my case, you see all these green nodes for that are lit up, and these red nodes. The color is a little bit hard to see the red, but I have my weapon swap points up here. You can either put in all your points as one way, or you can have it so that the last 24 points you get to spend one way and then spend them a different way with your weapon swap. So while I have weapon set 1 active, which is my Dark Defiler setup, I have all of these crit damage nodes active. So if I'm just going a typical Dark Defiler crit damage build, all of the things that matter to make it good, I have in place. But look what happens to all these red nodes when I switch weapons. They're now not highlighted, meaning they're not active. So my Dark Defiler isn't being used, I'm instead using these 2 items. And instead of having all of this crit damage and crit strike chance, I now have a bunch of minion damage nodes. So 10% minion damage here, chance to not use a corpse here, a bunch of minion damage here, and a bunch of minion damage here. And what this and a little bit of minion survivability here. And what this allows me to do is when I cast Unearth, I get all of these minion damage buffs. But then, the moment I swap weapons, so let me press my weapon swap key, look what happens to all these things. They're no longer lighting up. And because of that, I'm no longer benefiting from these bonuses. However, unlike minions that reserve spirit, temporary minions keep their stats that they had at the time that you summoned them. So when I press Unearth, I have Unearth only cast on weapon set 2 while I have all the buffs. And then I swap back when I press any other button to my damage setup, and so I get both my full damage setup and my full minion setup as far as the Unearthed minions are concerned. Rex, there is currently no Bonestorm.
Hello there.
I'm currently using Hexblast, and it's pretty silly. I just press one button and most things die. Also, look how big my corpse explosion is. Fucking glorious. I love Bonestorm too, but it took a lot of different things to make it work. And honestly, dude, look at this Unearth. Look how much fucking damage this Unearth does. 32,000 DPS. And this was with 30 Unearthed minions, because as you rank it up. So, 32,000 times 30. That's 1,000,000 damage per second, and that's not factoring in the crit chance. This is them with a 11% crit chance. In practice, they have 37 because of critical weakness. So this is over 1,000,000 DPS with Unearthed minions. This is a slightly staged image. I'm not using quite as much stuff. But like, with a better scepter, I could be getting to about 28,000 damage per minion with 30 of them on a snapshot build. This was done with this build tree. Without all the minion damage here or the minion damage over here. Over 1 million damage per second from Unearth. I'm glad my breaking it down made sense, because a lot of I've struggled for teaching people how to use the I think my mic is overblowing. I've struggled for figuring out how to make the explanation of the weapon swap make sense. I think a lot of people have just been ignoring it, because weapon swapping while you have reserved minions immediately updates. So all of my if I swap weapons, my clerics will immediately update to the new stats. Yeah, Incarnus. So if one of you guys wants to go poke Gazzy, it's like New Year's, so he's really busy. You know, real life apparently, because he's a Giga Chad and actually has a life outside of gaming, apparently. He's apparently a minion guy and really well known. If you could poke him towards the Unearth stuff, let me know. That previous video, I was only showing like 8,000 Unearth damage, and now I can show like 32,000 if I stage it correctly. Alright, more life. Freeze buildup. Always crit. Ooh, that's scary. Alright, can I get all 3 of these in one go? It's like 1 pixel off. Come on. Oh, that's so sad. Almost get it. Alright, it's fine. I'll just go for something like that and like this. So I'll get all this stuff.
I hope you know what you're doing.
Alright. I need to get my minions back up. So I don't know if I'm going to do particularly well in the content creation space for PoE, because I can't run a super fast build. I'll get motion sick, right? And like all these builds that are really effective, I'm like intentionally avoiding the things that make me go too fast. And it doesn't look like I can get much tankier than everyone else by going slow. Let me just blow up the entire world. I love how big Corpse Explosion is. Or Detonate Dead. It's so big. I was a big dummy, and like I could have had it be bigger sooner, but I didn't up the quality. Upping this quality is massive. And then I put magnified effect and spell echo. So big.
A gift from fate.
So, I was a big dummy, and I forgot to get my scepter. My second scepter needs to be a rattling scepter. And it's especially noticeable now that I dropped spirit from my necklace. So, I'm not able to fully sustain my unearth mobs on bosses anymore. Which is a problem. Well, it's a problem for showing off the unearth minions. And I also think with Hexblast, I have one of my, like, my new favorite gym. So I'm running some poison. So like contagion should allow my poison from Hexblast to jump around. Well, I'm actually running poison on Detonate Dead, but that's besides the point. I could envenom and then kill a target and have it jump with contagion and then kill a bunch of other targets, right? That sounds pretty cool. But I found something better for Hexblast than making poison jump around. Frickin' ambush is amazing. If you're a blood mage and you're running Hexblast, you're gonna love ambush. So, and this would also work for any single hit spell. So my Hexblast right now has 59.55% crit. I'm gonna say 60 for easy math. At 60% crit, that means I have 300% increased critical strike chance. At a 15% base critical strike. Well, ambush says you have more critical hit chance. And that either means I have 600% increased critical strike chance or I have 120% critical strike chance. I don't know. But either way, my first Hexblast on a target is always a crit, which means I don't have to use Eye of Winter to guarantee a crit. And so as I'm running around a map, I don't need to Eye of Winter and then crit. And then Eye of Winter and then crit. Or just pray for a crit and spam it early. I can just always have that first hit be a crit, which the only thing that can survive that is a yellow mob, and this is how long it takes to kill a yellow mob. Okay, it's dead. That's it. And if the second hit doesn't crit, okay, now it's dead. Like, as much as I like Eye of Winter and adding crit, because of ambush, it's just like, I just do this, and the world dies. And I'm running Inspiration as well. I could be running, like, bigger radius, but it doesn't really matter. Because the thing that I cast on, it's going to kill everything that's within the radius of my blasphemy, so it doesn't matter. What do you think is going to get nerfed, Anaconda? Besides Detonate Dead. I think that's what you're referring to, right? Because, you know what really needs to be nerfed? This needs to be nerfed. DD broken? What do you mean? No, it's the same as people have been reporting on. It just works. Like, it's good. If you mean that form of broken, it's very good. It's the best. Detonate Dead is the best. Blood Mage build right now. It's basically the only high clearing. It's still king. Oh, and PoE 1 you're talking about? Yeah. I don't know anything about PoE 1. I couldn't play PoE 1, unfortunately. I got motion sick. Yeah. So this build would objectively be better if I was running Detonate Dead. Just straight up. Like, Hexblast compared to Detonate Dead is just not as good. But I'm kind of expecting Detonate Dead to get nerfed in some way, shape, or form. And other people are already exploring it, so there's not much interest for me to explore it. Because I like doing math myself. Yeah, I am honestly, when people are like, "Man, I just want to run a one-button build," I'm like, "That's the last thing I want to do." Like,
Now.
please give me more buttons. Please give me more engaging gameplay. Please give me builds that don't wipe entire screens in 1 second and are still worth playing. Because the faster this game goes, the more I don't give a fuck. Because, like, PoE 1 speed, like, not even fun for me. It's just like, okay, I would honestly rather play Diablo. It's more engaging. And that's someone who knows that PoE 1 is a better game for most reasons.
None can oppose me.
No, what's working right now with my Detonate Dead is just I have so much radius. Like, it's just so big. Oh, yeah, cast on crit. Uh-huh. Because it would always cast every time there's no charge up.
Rupture darkness.
Oh, there's currently a build, probably like what you're describing, for, Fireball. You should see the Fireball video. It's insane. It literally crashes the game. Oh, there was actually a path. No, maybe not. Was this a path I missed? Oh my god. So right now, Detonate Dead is the best build for Blood Mages, simply because it doesn't. You can use level 7 and avoid health costs. That's it. There's such a big problem with health costs for Blood Mages that the best build is the one that lets you use a level 7 ability to avoid health costs. Because Detonate Dead scales off the corpse. So most people just get really high health brutes, they stack minion health, and then they press Detonate Dead on them. And that's like pretty much all they're scaling. And since Detonate Dead doesn't scale off ranks, they should be running it with the Dark Defiler. Because then they could get a bunch of chaos damage added to it. Cool. But yeah, I just use Detonate Dead because it's good, and it's a good wave clear tool. But I'm not speccing like super heavy into it. I don't have enough minion health to make it super good.
Yes.
As a damage ability, and I don't want to rely on minions which are too slow to run forward before I can Detonate Dead. That's super annoying. Like, they need to give minions plus... They need to make minions have move speed equal to your move speed plus 20. And that's just the baseline. Like, this node here needs to be removed from the game and banned from their game design. They should be banned from putting movement speed for minions in the skill tree. Minions should just... Because this isn't about making them better, it's making them functional. It is a true-false going from functional to non-functional. So, yeah, they just need to make minions go faster. There's a couple other suggestions I have, but like a bunch of minions need to have a leap ability that leaps into the combat. Anyone need some gems? Yeah. Don't think I need level 17 gems. for much of anything.
Go.
If you need some support gems, I can hook you up. Are you low? I can give you like 10. How many you need? Are you like just starting a character and you're like, oh my god, I need support gems? Got you, fam. Add me. Whisper me. Ooh. Something there. Irradiate a bunch of maps. Sure. That's a good map. Go here. Yeah. Once you reach maps, you're pretty much set.
I will squash
Oh fuck.
death is my
So that took a
power.
second to kill because I haven't got my minions up yet.
Again, from
And I was a little bit panicked because I also start low health. I had none of my overflow going. And I was like, okay, how do I best approach this? And I got my minions up.
I need more mana.
You know how these things leap? Our minions should do that too.
Right. Another corpse to serve me.
Let me read chat for a second. Oh, no. Detonate Dead isn't 5% corpse XP. It's 20. And then it gets multiplied by spell damage. And extra damage.
A gift from fate.
So that's why a white mob being detonated deaded with all my modifiers can one-tap a yellow mob. It's pretty ridiculous. Yep. It's 20%, and when I first read Detonate Dead, I just assumed it wasn't gonna scale with spell damage modifiers, so I just thought it was gonna suck. Nope. Well,
More mana.
not suck, but
Too soon.
oh, that's interesting. So I wanted to see what happens with my minions killing this. If I put up Pain Offering. But if I cast Pain Offering over here, and there's no target available, it goes on cooldown. Fuck. Yeah, with all the modifiers I have, I think like Detonate Dead does like well over like 200% of a corpse's health from damage. Like, that thing? That yellow? What yellow? Why is everything being hidden? These blue mobs, just one tap them. I feel like this is like the most underwhelming looking spell. Like I assumed Hexblast was gonna like be this really dramatic looking spell. Nah, just kind of does its thing. Not flashy about it, just does what it needs to do. He yearns for the mines. Oh my god, Scroll of Wisdom. Okay.
Speak.
I think I need to make coffee in a second. Got a fresh delivery of Sumatran coffee. Fuck is paying attention. Yeah, not doing that.
Speak. Hello. On with the work.
So the way I'm applying Curse is with Blasphemy. So Blasphemy automatically puts curses around you by reserving Spirit. So I curse with Vulnerability, which lets my Unearthed minions do more damage. And I curse with Despair, which is a bunch of Chaos Resist. Yeah. And then Hexbloom also makes it spread, so if something is on the edge of the radius of Blasphemy and I kill it, it'll spread Hexbloom to targets that are potentially outside of my radius, which is really good. I haven't really confirmed that's how it works, but that's how it looks like it works. So Hexbloom is amazing. And then Rituals Curse for Radius. Alright, so, but notice I've got the exclamation point on Blasphemy. Blasphemy is only active when I have my weapon slot 1 active, and I turn it off when I press Unearth, so that I can turn on Sacrifice only on and use my own minions for corpses with Unearth. And then as soon as I press any other button, it swaps back to my first weapon set, so I get all my crit damage bonuses. And since I weapon swap, I add all of these minion damage nodes. And my minions get really strong. And since they're temporary minions, it snapshots the buffs I had when I cast Unearth. So when I switch to my main loadout and no longer have those minion buffs, they still have the buff. How many buttons do I have to press? My mans, I used to play a hunter in World of Warcraft that had 90 keybinds. If you included like WASD and basic targeting functionality, I think I had like 120 keybinds. Like, I'm good.
Rupture darkness.
But if you want to know how many buttons I'm pressing, I have Hexblast. This is the main button I press. Yeah, 90. And I'm including, like, you know, 1, Control 1, Shift 1. So I have Eye of Winter, which I don't cast that often. I basically only use this on boss fights and rare elites that are somehow super tanky and need to die. I also will occasionally cast it if enemies are really spread out, to allow my minion. This makes my minions do like 40% more damage. I have Pain Offering, which I pretty much only use on bosses. I have Soul Offering, which I usually just forget I have because I don't need more damage. So occasionally I'll press this. I have Unearth. And then I have Detonate Dead bound on my thumb on my mouse. So the main 2 buttons I press are Hexblast and Detonate Dead. And then I have an option of pressing Eye of Winter, Unearth, Pain Offering, Soul Offering. And I need to rebind minion move command, but I barely use it. Oh, so like, and then, you know, 1 and 2 for flasks.
Undead.
Do you use WSD or click to move? Anaconda Masher? Controller. Okay. I choose option C. None of the above. Well, the good news is compared to my Bonestorm doesn't work super well on controller because it'll throw your stuff short. But you could probably run this on controller just fine. There's basically 4 buttons. With you need to press on a regular basis, and then 2 very long cooldowns that you can mostly forget that you have. Like do I really need more damage when I'm one-shotting everything? Oh my god, I didn't one-shot everything. That's probably because my minions despawned because I ran too far away from them. They're pretty dumb on this map. They're less dumb on Crypt for whatever reason. So Diablo actually does one major thing about minions way better. Way better than PoE. So in Diablo, if I change my character's facing, if I go left or right, like if I just do this, my warriors will sprint in front of me and fan out. So if they're way back here, they will move at like 200, as long as we're not in combat, they'll move at like 200% move speed to just get in front of me in a formation so that they contact enemies before I do. Always. It's really awesome. It took them a year to figure that out, but if they just did that for PoE, just go steal that feature, that is one of the only Diablo-like mechanics I want to see in this game. A lot of this would get solved. Because if I was walking in this direction and my unearthed minions would just be in front of me, just like here, and if I changed direction, if they didn't have an assigned target, if they would just turn and run up. That's what we say when... I need to buy another breach thing. Breach. So do I have one with already a bunch of breaches? Oh. I think... Cool. Added breaches to a bunch of things. I have another tower here. Grab this random corrupted one.
Rupture darkness. More mana.
No!
Death, take you.
I think these things have super stun. No, I'm just getting fucked. Huh. Yeah, I have one major buff prediction. I think they're going to reduce the health cost of Sanguimancy by half, and it's still not going to be enough. I think they need to make Sanguimancy, the functional cost for Sanguimancy's life cost is 25%. That is the maximum it could be while still being a boon in a 1v1. And at that point, you might as well just remove the health cost from Sanguimancy. Like... just... remove it. But they're only gonna, you know, they're gonna not want to remove it entirely. And they're gonna make it 50%. And everyone's still gonna complain that it's too high. That's one thing I think they're gonna do, because so many people have made videos about re-rolling their Blood Mage because Sanguimancy is just untenable. And at first I was like, okay, well, it's bad that it's so hard early, but maybe it'll get better late game. And then in mid game I found a way to make it work, and blah blah blah. And then late game it's like, why would I ever use this? So that's one thing I think they're gonna nerf, change, whatever. I'm guessing they're gonna make Rarity either completely shit or they're going to remove it from the game. I hope they remove it from the game. It's not good for the health of the game. At least Rarity from gear. It's so freaking broken. When I do a map that has plus 100 Rarity and I already have 100 Rarity, it's like I get like 5 or 6 uniques and 10 Exalted Orbs, and it's just like it's not even like 100% Rarity is double the loot. It's like triple. Well, everyone remembers that one, that D2 age where people were learning about Rarity and you could run ridiculous magic find but like everyone remembers it with rose-colored glasses, so I am happy they got rid of quantity on items, or like quantity in the game, because that was actually one thing I did not like at all in PoE 1. I didn't like that I literally could not play the game without a loot filter. It was like actually not possible.
Yes. Indeed. Yes. Go. What is it? Time is of the essence. Yes.
Let's see. Anything else that I want to see changed or nerfed that I think could get changed or nerfed? I think Detonate Dead is going to receive some kind of nerf, and that's something that's going to be really hard to balance around, because it's either going to become useless or they're just going to raise the mana cost. But I think if they do anything to make Detonate Dead worse, it's just going to kill the skill. That's my worry. The way where it feels good right now. And honestly, compared to how like everything else can clear a whole screen. Okay. I wouldn't be surprised if this got a nerf, or otherwise survivability got easier. At this and the thing, the unique chest that takes away your health and gives you a bunch of energy shield, are both like really strong, and they're like kind of killing build diversity with how good they are. But if you take them away, getting enough tank stats I think is going to be kind of painful, and it will make the builds that don't use those two items even better. I think armor is going to get a massive rework, but it might take them a while to do it, because having a small amount of armor is absolutely pointless in this game right now. So like gear that is half armor or half energy shield is completely pointless. Or half armor, half evasion. Completely pointless. The only way to make armor work is you have to get like 30,000 of it, and even then it has issues. So this is a delirium, and deliriums I'm kind of not the best at, just because I don't move fast enough. And I really wish they made something that like, I really wish oh, and it's this map. I didn't even look at the map. Fuck, I hate this map. This map is the reason I started looking into making Unearth do damage, because there's so many side corridors for like a single mob to pop out of. Okay, so there should be a delirium mirror here. Unless I picked the wrong map. And I thought delirium mirrors were always right near the start. There it is.
You can never die. Why don't you test it?
So
Another corpse to serve me.
I don't like delirium mirrors with minion builds because you have to keep moving and your minions fall behind. I also don't like the delirium fog effect. I wish I had a way of disabling this fog effect. I have some, to put it simply, some visual impairment issues, and it becomes really hard for me to see the screen during this.
Right. Out of mana.
I hope they nerf those buttons, those little levers you have to pull, so that you're at least invincible while you're pulling on them, or you can cancel out of the animation. Because I've died like 3 times, just like, oh, button, I should push this button. And then, you know, just die. Okay, so, like, there was a snake right here, and, like, I thought I did damage here, but I was just not able to see proper because of delirium. And so it killed all of my minions, and I didn't really see what was going on. And, yeah. That sucked. So, funny thing about corridor maps, I don't mind crypt. And with a lot of these corridor maps, I feel like when I try to target something through a doorway that I think should go through the doorway, okay, like look at this, right? It's hard to easily parse that this is terrain. It looks like the floor when you're just moving quickly. So there's just a lot of visual, like, it's really detailed, but I'm moving too quick to really properly see it. So my brain can't take in the outline. Also, I don't think I have any, like, no chaos resist from my minions, so the chaos damage should be based off the physical damage. Yeah, not running the, that 10% reduced cost node has made me have a lot more mana issues. I think Grim Feast will get nerfed, and I'm a little worried about that because, like, basically anything they do that's gonna nerf how easy it is to get tanky it's just gonna mean that like my entire skill tree is gonna be invalid. Because I'm gonna just need to build so much more tank. And I think the amount of effort you need to put in to get tanky right now is gonna start. If they nerf Grim Feast, it's gonna nerf. Not nerf. It's gonna significantly weaken build diversity. I somewhat feel that way about Detonate Dead, because it's such a good like clearing tool for a lot of builds. Okay, I'm stuck in this thing and I can't get off. Almost died. Very good. Fuck these snakes. Yep. And there's no way to cancel it. And like, I started a lever, I got like 3/4 of the way through the animation and there was nothing on my screen. And then something started attacking me. It was just like, okay.
I am the apex. All part of my plan.
Gonna let my little homies kill it. Let's go. I love this. I love this voice actress. She just yells, "I am the apex."
Speak.
Yeah. Oh, one of the things they need to do, I don't know if they're going to do it, is they need to make clerics not have collision for other minions. So other minions need to be able to walk in the same space as clerics.
Yes.
Because they'll block doors and stuff.
Go.
That's... Alright, I need to take a short break. Let me find this one video and put it up. A really good one. You guys haven't seen it. So I don't know if I'm going to do well in the PoE content space because stuff like this exists. Make sure it's popped up on my stream. So this is a video by KY. Posting it in chat. I'm gonna make some coffee. I'll be back. I'm gonna play this.
I am mighty, a powerful god.
Hello, or maybe I should say.
Salutations, Exile.
After trying nearly every skill gem in the game on Blood Witch and finding no viable builds besides Detonate Dead, I have decided to take revenge on the Grinding Gear game servers for making my entire ascendancy a downside.
Using the Eye of Innocence unique amulet.
I mean the Fireflower unique amulet, combined with Raging Spirits and Cast on Minion Death. We create a chain reaction of thousands of fireballs and comets, of which I will explain right now. So starting off, I have unlinked Fireball from all of its supports and left Raging Spirits on and turned off our other Spirit Gems. We launch a Fireball. That Fireball then splits into 8 other Fireballs, each of which are summoning 1 Raging Spirit. We then take our Scatter Shot for supportive skills fire 2 additional projectiles and link it to our Fireball. We then launch 3 Fireballs, each of which split into 8 more projectiles for 24 projectiles total, and each summoning a Raging Spirit. The next piece of our combo here is going to be a Snake Pit Unique Ring for projectiles from Spell's Fork while in your left ring slot. Now normally when you throw a Fireball and it hits a tree, if it hits any sort of terrain, it will only produce 8 Fireballs. That is when the next piece of the combo comes in, being Frost Wall. If you hit Frost Wall with Fireball, it counts as being an enemy, so it will fork and 16 projectiles will be produced. Next up, I will reslot in our Scatter Shot into Fireball for +2 projectiles, combined with Unleash to repeat for every seal that we have. At a maximum of 3 seals here, we will then launch 9 Fireballs, which then split into 72 projectiles. This in combination with Frost Wall and our fork from the Snake Pit, now causing us to produce 144 projectiles. Next up, we will add the Wild Shard support into the mix for 20% chance to fire 8 additional projectiles in a circle. When this does proc, it will affect all of our casts from Unleash, resulting in 11 projectiles for each cast of Fireball, multiplied by 3 for our Unleash, and then again by 8 for each projectile produced from an individual Fireball, resulting in 264 projectiles. Once again, adding Frostwall into the mix to proc our fork, doubling our base projectiles and resulting in 528 projectiles per cast. These projectiles also summoning 528 individual summoned Raging Spirit minions. As you can see, this is where the lag starts coming in, and we haven't even started casting any comets yet. This next part will require a little bit of an in-map demonstration, so I'll go ahead and take our Frost Wall and slot it into one of our cast on minion death setups and enable the other one as well. As I'm walking along here, I will just find a pack of mobs, decent pack of mobs. Here
I think this is the kind of content
throw my Fireball, and it will
most people are
automatically
expecting to
cast
see
all
in
of our
PoE,
Frost
and
Walls
like
and comets,
this kind of gameplay would just
resulting in something like that.
not
So why is all this happening, and how does
not
it
be
come
good
together?
for me.
Again,
Boy.
coming back to our amulet, the Fireflower Solar Amulet has the line,
Really impressive,
take 100 fire damage
until they
when
nerf it.
you ignite an enemy. Normally this would
Pretty
be
funny.
hurting us, but on our passive tree, we take the Necromantic Talisman Keystone, making all bonuses from the equipped amulet applied to the minions instead of ourselves. We then
Necromantic Talisman doesn't work with a lot of things. It works with that randomly. But one of the things it's really missing is it doesn't work with this fixation of Yix. So if I could get Necromantic Talisman to work with this, and allies and minions considered each other allies and me an ally, then this would be amazing to use with Necromantic Talisman, because you give it to your minions, they give it to each other, and then they give it back to you. That would be super cool. The other thing you could do with Necromantic Talisman that would be really crazy, if it worked, it doesn't, is Choir of the Storm. So, if your minions crit, they cast Lightning Bolt. Doesn't actually work, sadly. Anyways,
the equipped amulet applied to the minions
can I
instead
get
of
back to making
ourselves.
coffee?
We then combine this with the summoned Raging Spirit minions, who have Infernal Legion with the line minions from supported skills ignite enemies within a radius of 1.5 meters, along with Feeding Frenzy so they take more damage, minion instability so they die a little bit faster, and more area of effect to increase the AoE on Infernal Legion. Not too entirely sure if that works, but I think it does. Along with a minimum level Summoned Raging Spirit Gem of level 4. This causes our Summoned Raging Spirit minions to instantly die the moment they enter the range of any mob. We then combine this with a Cast on Death Minion Spirit Gem linked to both Comet and Frostwall in their individual setups to create an almost infinite chain casting loop as long as the Summoned Raging Spirit minions are somewhere near a mob when they are produced. It is very fun, but a bit squishy. I'm still working things out, and this is a work in progress. But in case you do want to play it, I will show you the gear, gems, and tree in its fullest right now. I'm going to continue playing this build and improving upon it. I will make a couple follow-up videos to this with the updated setups, so if that's something that you would like to see, subscribe now. Starting off with our gear here, I will just quickly hover over each piece in case anybody just wants to immediately copy it, and then afterwards I will go in and explain each piece and how they work together. So first off, we have a wand here. I've been flipping back and forth between cold and fire wands. This one's a cold wand. Basically all you want is your +4 to spells. All spells would be the best, but we have this one with cold damage, cold spells. Main stats you're looking for here are the +4, the critical hit chance, and the critical spell damage bonus along with your increased damage. Right now I'm just using an @series Disdain. This one's corrupted for a little bit of extra maximum life as extra maximum energy shield. This thing's giving us basically all of our energy shield right now, so I don't think that's really replaceable. Next we have just a shield, again subject to change. Right now it's just life, resistances, and block chance. 40% chance to not take damage on your offhand is pretty good. Fire Flower, this is required, makes the whole build work. Pariah's Embrace, this thing's pretty bad, but we really struggle with mana costs. The life regen we can handle because of the Blood Mage life leech node, but as for right now, this is very subject to change. We do need the spirit though, so your chest piece, if you change this, will need to have spirit. Next up, Snake Pit, pretty required. Gloves, belt, and boots, all three of these pieces are just life, mana, resistances, and preferably a stat. We're not stat starved, but we do like stats. The mana is pretty required though, even though we are not an Archmage or Mind Over Matter build, just because of how high our mana costs are. More mana that you have, the higher your mana regen is. So that's what these three are for. Next up, just this ring. Again, life, mana, resistances, and increased mana regeneration rate on the ring as well. That is very important. You can also get it on a suffix on your wand as well though. Next up we have our gem setup. This is again a work in progress, but we have Fireball linked with Scattershot, Unleash, Wild Shards, Fire Mastery, Arcane Tempo. Our first Cast on Minion Death setup with Cast on Minion Death, Frost Wall, Spell Cascade, Glacier, Ingenuity, and Life Tap. Summon Raging Spirits, level 4, very important, you get this at level 4 at the bottom level. Infernal Legion, Feeding Frenzy, Minion Instability, and Magnified Effect. Flame Wall, I'm just playing around with that. Solar Orb with Fire Exposure, Strip Away. Font of Mana and Font of Blood, just a little bit of utility there. We have Flammability with Heightened Curse. Again, this may change as long with the Fire Exposure for cold stuff. I'm still playing around with it. And then Cast on Minion Death, Comet, Elemental Focus, Energy Retention, Inspiration, and Spell Echo. Next up is our weapon set passive assignments here. We have Fireball set to 1, Cast on Minion is set to 1, Summon Raging Spirits on 1, Fireball and Solar Orb both set to 1, Flammability set to 1, Blink is set to just 2, and the final Cast on Minion is set to 1. Something I think I forgot to mention earlier is on our offhand, we are just using a Crest of Ardura for increased cooldown recovery rate, just to give us a little bit fast. Quickly, first here we just come up here, grab this, take Necromantic Talisman, and then we come down over here and loop around to this section right here. Next up, I will talk a little bit about our passive tree. Again,
So, if you want to watch the rest of this, it's a link. You're at 8 minutes and 45 seconds, so I'm going to share it there. But Path of Exile is really good content. So until that gets nerfed, go have fun with it. I'm going to keep doing what I do, plugging away. Making a little bit more of a steady build. Gosh, today I can't remember what map I hate. Need to go over there. I have a bunch of bosses down in this region. Ton. I should go over here and do some bossing, actually. Wanted to practice a little bit more breaching. Let's do a breach. Alright, so this is a breach. This is a breach. This one's fine. This one's annoying. Died here a few times through breach.
Out of mana.
So they've done quite a bit. Like the original like Raging Spirits build that everyone was thinking about of like infinite Raging Spirits, they nerfed. So that one's probably going to get a nerf for the same reason. Because they don't want builds to basically go infinite just by themselves. So I expect that to 100% get nerfed. Poison SRS? I guess the poison coming from the SRS, or is SRS just somehow used as utility? Because the actual damage from SRS is too low. You do chaos. What level am I, Trung? I think I'm 90. Definitely slowed down when you get to higher levels because you just can't fight mobs high enough level. Well, that was a quick little exalt.
Rupture darkness.
Yeah, poison doesn't stack even if it's coming from multiple different targets, as far as I understand. So well, yeah, you can get additional stacks, but when you said poison SRS, I was like, is it the SRS applying poison? Oh, minions can put poison, but they won't stack. As far as I know. I think Ignite's the same way. You can only have one instance of Ignite. And if you get multiple stacks of poison, like the same rules apply. It's like My guess is if, like, let's say your minion put up 1 poison, because that's all it can do, right? And then you have something that says, you know, you can put up 5, right? You would have your minion's poison, as long as it was higher than your poisons you're putting up. That would stay on the target, and then 4 of your poisons would be on the target, rather than 5, because your minion... But the moment you put a poison from yourself, that's higher level. Yeah. Oh, hi, Calastia. I got my, my Hexblast basically just one-shotting everything. And, I'm loving how big the radius on, Detonate Dead is right now. If I really want to be lazy, I can just spam it. And clear entire maps, almost. And one of my new favorite support gems is Ambush.
Another corpse to serve. Out of mana.
The next thing I want to do is record a boss fight.
How you spoon.
I want to see if my shit dies still. Am I done? Alright, so there is... Yeah, the person who mentioned Poison SRS in YouTube chat, Calastia, basically said, after like, ooh, this looks good, and then they looked at it and they're like, wait, no, it looks like dog water. So they were correcting themselves.
I think not.
I think I need to carry more shit.
Death is my power to wield.
Like more, scrolls.
Go on.
I can just identify large items that suck now. But I'm not hurting for money. Okay. Is this really selling for Divine? Booked by Exalted. Yeah, this is the actual price. Not actually that much. Mine has decent elemental I'm gonna
Time
put
is of
this
the
up.
essence. Speak. Of course.
That's just what sulfuric caverns looks like. Not actually anything special. Alright, I wanted to do the bosses over here. We're here. Cool. Alright, and there's some maps there. Looks like I just passed there. Maps. This is a scary map. It's here. One sec. I actually just got told that dinner is ready, so I will be back in a bit. Alright, I am mostly back. My hands. Alright, and back. Sorry, John. Yeah, I got suddenly called away for dinner, and normally I have those a little bit more planned out, but um, one of our neighbors passed away this morning, and everything's just been kind of a mess. So, yeah. Why do I have 15 in tier 1? That is not supposed to be there. Nope. Not at all supposed to be there. Alright, so, where was I? I think I just opened up this hidden grotto. I think this is a boss map. No. Did I say morning? Huh. No, it's 5:41 p.m. I'm in America. If I really wanted to, I could walk to the White House. Be a long ass walk, but could do it. Alright. Focus up. I made coffee, got called away for dinner. My coffee's still in my French press, so it's gonna be quite flavorful. Nishana, I think I fixed the build. Actually, let me let's come over here and show you a screenshot. Oh, you've probably seen you've seen chat. You saw that screenshot I did of the 32,000 damage on Earth. Nice. What country are you in, Nishana? So I've gone through a bunch of changes. So Unearth is expensive, but I don't cast it that often, so it's not as big of a mana issue right now. I ended up switching to Leech, and I ended up not only switching to Leech, but also just like, you know, there's no point in having, what was it? This is Proximate Vulnerability, so I couldn't kill that. Germany, okay. So I was holding on to Grasping Wounds for too long. I had to switch to Vitality Siphon. What it is. I am running Inspiration on Hexblast, unfortunately, but that's also because there just isn't much to run on Hexblast, and it already one-shots everything. Like, it's just okay. One of the things I was using for a while, and I'm really sorely missing, is this Deep Trance. This reduces health costs, not just mana costs. And I don't need it, but like I really want to put it back in, even though it has a bunch of attack speed, which is worthless. Because like if I cast Unearth 3 times, I don't even have the mana to cast it 3. Actually, I do. I can cast it a 3rd time. If I think I have quite enough mana regen. How much do I have? I have 115 mana regen. So I barely have enough to cast it 3 times. And I just have to drink a potion. But otherwise, I don't run into mana issues. But it also costs a ton of health. So this build does run smoother with this 10% cost decrease, but it's not needed. I am sad that I do have to put these points in. I think the opportunity cost of trying to solve the extra resists that you need for minions from jewels is actually... I think they have to come on red jewels, which is not ideal for us. So this is... I was trying to see how bad it would be if I could get away with not running this, but I have to. Oh, Nestjana, I actually played that while I was AFK. Yeah. That was amazing. He's so mad in that video. He's so mad. How much damage do my unearthed minions have right now? 6,200. It's pretty good. Okay. It's actually higher than that. 7,699. Now it's 14,000. Should actually go up. So that's not really gonna help versus bosses. I just need enough resists that they survive. There's also one other issue where I'm down to just 2 clerics. Or 3 clerics. Because I dropped on my necklace. I needed to see the value of +3 to all spells. And the cost of a +3 to all spells necklace and with spirit is multiple divines. So, yeah, that's just not happening for a little while. And getting the +3 to all spells is a big increase. Hey, I leveled 91. I got +1 skill point. Yay. So we'll just put it back here for more damage. I think I'm already at 100% crit. Yeah, not worth that extra 2% crit. Okay. Yeah, I think this is just going to be crit damage. Yep. The basic. I do have some thoughts I'd like to go over with you. So are you aware, Nishana, of the people trying to use poison with Hexblast?
Speak.
Basically, contagion will spread poison on Hexblast. This is armor energy shield, nobody cares. This is an 80, maybe someone will buy it.
Go.
Oh yeah, I should have mentioned. It has rarity on it, because if you don't have rarity, you're shooting yourself in the foot. Dude, the difference between like 0 rarity and when I get a map that has like 100 rarity plus whatever rarity I have, which is like 60, so like 170 rarity, it's like I get like 5 uniques in a 170. It's not even like 4 times as much gear, it's like 7.
Right.
Someone was waiting for a flask. I went back to town to sell and I forgot somebody was in my party to buy something from me. He sees me leave town and whispers me, "Sell me flask, please." I'm just... Look how big this corpse explosion is. It makes me so happy.
Is my power to wield. Rupture darkness.
Nishana needs to go to a pep rally. Wait, Nishana, do you know about Spirit Halloween? The memes about it? I'm guessing you don't have them in Germany. Hold on. Let me pull this up. So, during the holiday season, or during Halloween, we have this one store that's a pop-up store that finds, like, basically, not abandoned buildings, but, like, places where their leases expired. And so this is a Best Buy, or was a Best Buy. You can tell by this weird shaped facade. And, like, in September, there will suddenly just be a store there called Spirit Halloween. They'll just pop up and then go away, like, right after Halloween. Yeah, so this store haunts the bodies of dead stores and sells you Halloween stuff. So you're like, I need more spirit. My brain went to Spirit Halloween. Halloween is probably the best holiday here for a lot of my friends. Also, if you're pagan, it's Samhain, which is a good time. So, I don't think this build is going to clear as fast as other builds, simply because it's taking me time to, like, I don't have a blink to get around the map super quick. I am somewhat limited by the move speed of minions, right? Not somewhat, I am limited by the move speed of minions. But I like it. I think it's relatively easy to pilot. Are these not taking damage? Monsters are armored. Okay. Yeah. Spark is just silly. So yeah, I just had to pop 2 potions there. Killed it in 2 hits. What's like? I'm guessing being able to 2-shot a yellow mob is like good. And basically at this point, I just need to worry about staying tanky enough. Yeah, I honestly should probably, even with all the cool stuff I've been doing with snapshotting, I should probably just be really boring and snapshot, just health on them, and, you know, I think Hexblast can clear well enough that I don't need them to do damage. But I'm pretty close to getting Unearthed to being able to be a boss killer. Like, like if I pop that, I get unearthed damage up to 13.6, and it's not going to let me see it for more than a second. But yeah, like, I don't think this build is going to necessarily kill ultimatum bosses or whatever. Also, I have not been picking a direction to just run and go in the map. So I've, like, not seen any of this stuff people are talking about. Even though I've cleared, I think, a decent amount. Um, so, but a lot of that is because I've been trying to learn. Oh, Ultimatum, that's the trial master and stuff. Yeah. To be like these things. Yeah, to be fair, I was the level 80 version of these. Bonestorm could 3-shot. So I think I'm doing uh
Go on.
I think my damage on boss is actually slightly less than what I was doing with Bonestorm because Bonestorm's just hilarious. But that's also where if I get Unearthed to do just a little bit more damage, it will start to be really silly. Dude, I feel you, dude. Like, a rarity on maps, like, man, it's it's bad. It's bad out here if you don't have rarity. Enough rarity. Like, I only have... I have to look up this spell. I only have 63% rarity, and it hurts. Like, when I had 80, I felt it more. And then, on top of that, you open up Delirium and grab a bunch of greed. Not greed. It's paranoia. Which I do not have any. Literally 3 paranoia gives you +1 charm slot, which lets you run a rarity charm. Have you put a really expensive imprint on your necklace yet, Nishana? Because if you haven't, slam paranoia, paranoia, paranoia. You're getting 100 Exalted an hour doing that. Yeah, that's way better than what I'm getting in maps.
Yes. Go.
Yeah, you can override anoints. I was using triple paranoia on my last amulet, and I just put on radial force because it's also stupid cheap. Like, if you go over here and look at it, like, paranoia, greed, ire, these are like the most common things in the world. And area of effect and area damage is amazing. Yeah. Uh, I will say, if I put on some more rarity, I'm really good. Not really good. I'm decent at running Sekemahs. I could just literally run Sekemahs. Oof, this is hurting. Be right back. Go check on something. Oh, I just heard the crack of thunder. We have a storm coming in. Global chat. This is playing. Oh no, Sekemahs. Okay, when I was running armor build, Sekemahs was so easy, dude. It was so easy. So I got really good at it when I was running the armor build over here. Because, like, most of the effects don't even hit you. You're gonna make me want to go do a Sekemahs right now, just to show you. And you get good relics. The problem with Sekemahs is that you have to do it for your ascendancy, and everyone was trying to get their ascendancy when they were under geared, and they didn't have relics, so Sekemahs just sucked. Honestly, if Sekemahs was completely optional and you didn't have to ever do it, people would do it and find it fun. Especially if you start with a bunch of relics. Once you figure out like how to optimize it, it's like pretty hard to fail. There's only a couple things that can actually make you fail. Alright. I'm gonna juice the fuck out of this. Okay, that's good enough. Alright, so extra cold damage means I literally might just die to being frozen. Like, some random white mob is gonna run up. Oh, and it's a level 16. Cool. Alright, so I wanted to do a boss. I also really like the roguelike mechanics in Sekemahs, way more than I like them in the trial whatever bullshit.
Now.
I need to give the trials another go, because I was doing them when I was running that weird armor build, and it was invalidating a lot of my shit.
Out of mana.
I wanted to see if my minions would just kill this thing. They were pretty slow at it. I also used the wrong thing. I need to set this to that and that to that.
Out of mana.
God. Oh, I forgot to check the other multipliers after we zoned in. Hold on, I need to check that. Because these mobs are taking longer to die than they should. Okay. Okay, we got temporal chains. Got that. Extra cold damage. Expedition, know that. Additional essence. Chance to bleed. Less effective curses. Okay, that's one reason I'm doing way less damage. Okay. 539% increased chance. The waystones and shit.
Out of mana.
Okay, maybe I can't even cast three spells in a row.
Drop to darkness.
I'm not even opening this strongbox. I'll come back afterwards. It's the #1 way I die. It's usually because I'm like in a corridor and it's trying to spawn lightning and it can't spawn them properly, so it spawns like 10 in the same spot and I just get one shot. What is hitting me for all of my HP? Couldn't parse the screen. Alright, I just summoned all my minions. Dude, I might need to switch back to that like health and mana cost reduction. Not being able to cast Unearth 3 times is it's pretty bad. Sure, I'll try an ultimatum. Guy gonna trade me? Nice. Apparently putting all my 14s here is a pretty good source of a couple Exalteds here and there. If someone wants to buy them, they buy them. If not, they don't. Fine.
Go on.
Damn.
Time is of the essence.
Rise! I need more mana.
Just set a macro on my computer up that if I press Unearth, it just pops a mana potion. Can I just double bind the same key? That's the request we should put in. Hey, why can't I double bind 2 buttons? I need to put Unearth and Mana Potion on the same keybind. Can you do that? Make that the forum post that gets Grinding Gear's attention. Like, wait, we actually have a mana problem issue? Oh shit, level 16 mobs actually have enough health to survive if they're big. 1 Hexblast. If I don't have soul offering up, that is. Or any of my minions. You know, maybe that's what it was.
Out of mana.
Oh god. Something is gonna kill me through my energy shield soon. It's gonna be a sad day. Oh, this is not going to be a good boss for testing.
Image.
I wanted to see how much I could make Unearth do. But I think it's going to fail. Because I have to just not die here. Oh. That slow was atrocious. So, what was happening was the extra cold damage from these guys was making it so I couldn't move. And then the temporal chains was just making it so I couldn't even get out of the way. I can usually just dodge every single one of those mechanics, but the auto slow from temporal chains said, nah.
Of course.
Not happening today, sir. Alright, so you want me to try an ultimatum? I have not done one of these in forever. What up, Lady Addis? I think, first time I've seen you in chat. You want an explanation for snapshotting with Unearth? I can show you that right now before I start this next content. Basically, when I press Unearth, all this green stuff comes active, and it turns off when I switch back to my any other ability, and all the red stuff turns on. But Unearth snapshots at the time of casting, so you get all the buffs to your minions, and then you swap back, and your minions keep those buffs. It's pretty great. All right. Yeah, there's finally a use for them as a minion build, and since Unearth is a physical spell, it gets bonuses not just from plus to minion ranks, but also plus to physical spells. So you can use it. So even if you're like Scepter plus Shield, you can swap to Scepter plus Wand when you cast Unearth, and then still function, and then swap back. So you get 5 extra ranks of Unearth, and it will also benefit from +3 to all spells. So builds that don't normally run minions can benefit their main blaster ability and Unearth. I'm about to try a Trial of Chaos. Oof. Nice, Nishana. Yeah, I do think that Bonestorm build is actually, like, really good. Like, better than... Like, the build I'm currently running, I don't think is, like, anything super crazy. I don't think I could make a build guide and be like, this is the best build ever! That would just be a lie. But Bonestorm, I can do. Alright, so I haven't done a Trial of Chaos in forever, so I'm probably going to die to really, really dumb things. You know that bird that, like, goes up in the air and then just comes down and one-shots you? That's probably going to kill me at least 3 times.
Complacency breeds contempt.
That's horrible for me. That's bad. This is actually not that bad.
Ruin seeks you.
As long as I don't get slowed.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Challenger?
I legit think it might be, like, the best budget Blood Mage build. Just not even the best budget Bonestorm. Just the best budget build.
Image.
For Blood Mages, at least. Shit. I'm gonna forget about this thing and die. Do it. Watch. So you might be right about DD. Just because DD is crazy. But it's also like kind of awkward to use because you have to rely on like waiting on. Dude, I just... Well, my key just got deleted. I got done with the first room and my key just... Nah. Yeah. GG. Yeah, Sekemahs, that wouldn't have been an issue. Sekemahs, you would just go back in if the floor was complete. Nah, just delete my shit. Okay.
I will never tire of your struggles.
Yep. Deleted my key.
How far can you go, I wonder? Lightning descends. Challenger, prove yourself worthy of
Oh yeah,
this.
they're not all gonna fit on this, aren't they?
Rupture darkness.
Oof. I might have to stop playing because of an injury. Fuck. Oh, I don't have music on. I should do that. Sekemahs is better music. Better content confirmed.
This is just the beginning.
This is annoying, but
Coagulated
doable.
masses before you. Don't die.
If this was Sekemahs, you'd kill all these enemies, and then more would spawn, rather than having you sit here. Waiting.
Now. I need more mana.
The fuck? Like has magnet effect? Okay. Or am I just lagging? Yeah, I haven't had that issue with Sekemahs. With untargetable enemies. It has issues with enemies on high ground, and you just gotta, you know, not get Obi-Wan'd. Don't get Kenobi'd. And the snakes were nerfed, the ones that dive underground.
So early.
And once you have move speed, you also just don't get hit by them. Yeah, the snakes, they don't even hit me. They nerfed them A and B once you have move speed, that they can't hit you. Okay, so I think giving them 20% extra damage, I mean, that's gonna be troublesome on my little unearth minions. I have to go with this one.
Death is rapid. Pillage and retrieve.
Right.
To be fair, I think that one I took is one of the worst ones I could have taken, just in terms of, like, raw damage taken. And the only reason I took it was my minions will take less damage than me. But it means it's basically... I guess for the bosses, I'm going to kill them, I hope, faster than it stacks up. The last one might be tricky. But, like, I'm already at 50% vulnerability or whatever, so, like, that's pretty bad. So, I think 20% guaranteed chaos damage would be less bad. Especially when I have my chaos resist solved. Go! Really? I just get trolled. What up, Bob? Glad you saw that.
Don't give up so early.
Alright. Like a lot of these projectiles and stuff that like spawn, the rotating pyramids is not the worst. Hello, minions? What I want to do is get my minions before I go off this thing. It teleports them now. Yeah. Okay. Oh, it hasn't started the counter until you actually get in on the boss fight.
A bird will do anything to feed its
Obey
young.
me.
So it instantly killed a ton of my minions, even though I have damage stuff on them. Survivability stuff. That's really unfortunate. So I don't currently have... No, I do have it. It's so weird. How does... Maybe they just ran out of timer, actually. They might have just run out of timer. What's considered a high map for you, Mirrored Dreamscape? And what ascendancy are you? I'm getting lost like a dumbass. Well, do you know what the DPS stat of your Hexblast is? I'm wasting a bunch of charges trying to get this up real quick so I can look at it.
A true display of might.
Mine thinks it's 28k, but it's actually higher. Yeah, so mine's at 28k. And then I also have Minion Pact. What's your crit chance? Mine is up to 100%. So if you have 60% crit chance, that's functionally 100% crit if you have Eye of Winter up. Yeah. And 11k is really low as a start. That's real low. Oh, rare monsters give you better loot? Oh, wait. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, this one just seems horrible. Seems absolute ass. Like, why is it even in the game? I've never picked it. This just makes rare monsters better? Okay.
The exceptional are more common. Leave naught but corpses.
Oh, the timer started and I haven't even gone on the elevator in this room. That's annoying as fuck. Scammed.
Rise. Out of mana.
This might apply to my minions as well. And if it does, that sucks. Yeah, I'm already taking 40% more damage. Okay, we're done. Hello? Oh, so mirror. Okay, so you're in tier 15 maps. So, yeah, you need to get that 4th ascendancy. I think Sekemahs is way easier than Trial of Chaos to get your 4th ascendancy, and you don't have to deal with the Trial Master having a stupid expensive thing. Learning Sekemahs takes time though.
Could hardly call that a challenge.
I mean, for the cost of the key to unlock Trial Master, you could pay for a Sekemahs carry. Imagine having a good build. I think I go Grasping Vines because I don't get hit much.
Vines restrict your every move.
What level are you, Mirror Dreamscape?
Offer up their lives.
90? Alright. So you shouldn't really need a shield if you're built like me. This helmet is stupid strong at Ziri's Disdain. Gives you a ton of survivability. I'll show you my build when I'm done with this room. Because this scepter, I think, is the way you get your scaling. Not only does it offer, I think, more damage, it also doesn't increase the skill rank of your spells while doing more damage. So it keeps the cost low, which is super important as a Blood Mage. Am I done? Oh, there's still more here.
No. Now.
So I think Corpse Weight is a trap. I mean, it might be good for mapping clear speed, but you're missing a ton of stats that you could have. That would make sense of why you can't run, why you have to run a shield or a focus. Alright.
Halfway. Impressive.
Yeah. The two uniques is rough. Question, can I go back to town right now, or am I just fucked? Nishana? Like, before I start this next room, can I go to town, or... Like, if I wanted to dump gear... This thing is worth a bunch of money, you're saying?
Ancient power.
Yeah. Yeah, so my build right now, Mirror Dreamscape, I only have this ES node only partially complete, and I've been able to tank most things. Okay, so sometimes it breaks. Got it. all this green stuff here, I'm snapshotting. So when I switch weapons, it will unhighlight. Watch. Now it's not highlighted, and this red stuff highlights instead. If I switch back, now all these red all highlighted. Switch back, all these green highlight. I get, like, somewhat powerful minions while running full Hexblast damage. And, like, is Corpse Weight as good as Detonate Dead? Like, Detonate Dead with Dark Defiler does, like, 300% of the mobs, maybe 200% of the health of the mob in damage. And, like, my Hexblast, if I just press Hexblast, right? Look at the big radius on it. That kills a blue mob in one hit. That's a blue mob dead. That's a yellow mob dead. And if you look at my stuff, I'm even running Inspiration on Hexblast. I'm skipping a damage node. I have considered casting for the high alpha damage. And I have Ambush, so my first attack is always a crit. Which means I don't have to do setup. But that's only because I have the stuff. And then because I have a million minions, I get 40% damage for free. Honestly, the weapon set passives are pretty small, and I probably should be using them for just health. But this Corrupted Blood I hate. I hate this so much.
Ruin seeks you. Don't stare for too long,
Rupture
challenger.
darkness.
Okay. That was ridiculously easy. For me, that was all rattling dark stuff. The minions did nothing there. That was just deleting. It's this thing. Yeah.
You may possess strength after all.
Alright, so I'm over-capped on resists in a couple spots, so this is not bad at all. This is going to be like 30% more damage taken at tops. I'm not really using... I do use some flasks. I gotta go this.
Weather the elements at your own risk.
I use some flasks. Why? Because I play Blood Mage. Oh, so you take lots of damage because enemies hit you?
Kill them all.
No. I do more damage than you? Crazy.
Emerge!
I don't even think I had all my minions up there. I'm being stunned a bunch. Archmage. Yeah. And my crit stuff's pretty insane right now.
This is starting to get fun.
These are annoying. I don't think this matters. Yeah, it does. This is probably bad. Yeah, recovery rate of mana. Yeah, this would just fuck me. This would be an issue for Soul Offering. Significantly. The debuffs I don't really care about. I do a little bit. I might have to go with Petrify. This is a run ender. This is a I kill things slower some of the time. I think I go with this.
One cannot outrun time. Cling to life.
Unless Unearth counts as a buff. In which case, it's Jover for me.
Rise.
Yeah, this is only... Oh, I still get a 12-second buff? It doesn't apply to Soul Offering. GG.
Another corpse to serve me. No.
Wait, I'm supposed to be having the escort quest, aren't I? I'm a dumbass. This is the escort quest room. Okay, so I have a fun story time about this statue thing. When I first got this statue, I didn't really understand its, like, its wind up and wind down. And I saw it land and kill my minions, right? So I didn't want to get too close to it, because I thought it was going to land and kill me. Which made it, you know, land... I would try to be, like, right at the edge so it wouldn't just randomly land on me. And so it kept landing, and it would be horrible. Oh, I got a stack of ruin on me because...
Time is of the essence.